of Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. Let's go.
Welcome to the Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast. Here's your host, Pastor Happy Feet.
Hey y'all, this is Leandria Johnson and you're listening to Pastor DJ Happy Feet. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here. We got a large crew today. And it is us, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast. This is your boy DJ, Pastor Happy Feet. And we're here to bring you inspiration and information. That's what we come to do. We got the crew here. TyBoogie, what's up? How you doing?
Great.
You went to what today?
I went to work.
Yeah, she went to work today. All right, G, what's up, man?
Not much. You caught me in the middle of a swig of apple juice, but I'm good.
Oh, he drinking on the
Apple
job.
juice.
He's drinking on the job.
No. Everybody at the same time.
Yes.
Jumping on the convalescent. That's fantastic. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
It
Absolutely.
is apple juice.
Yeah.
No scissor, nothing like that. Just apple juice.
No lean. No lean. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we also got our newfound family member of the show, Mr. Duck.
Hey. Aflac in the house.
Now. Our newfound family member. We didn't find Duck in a pond or anything like that. It was on them People Blue app.
I was flying south for the winter. I went the wrong way.
There you go. Yes, indeed. And we're here to bring you inspiration and information, y'all. And like we promised, we said that we were going to have our other guest that we had on last week, Mr. Andrew. He's going to talk to us a little bit more about his testimony and the things that he's been through and that he's gone through on his life. And he told me on last week that it wasn't Gilligan's Island that he's got anything from. So he gave me the correct name, but do I remember? No, not me. And Drew, what's going on with you?
Nothing much.
Yeah, we're doing good, man. So we're going to talk to him today. We actually, Duck didn't know that we were recording today, so this is kind of great, and it's going to be very spontaneous, improvised show. And we will promise you guys we will stay on track, but I guarantee you we don't know if we would get derailed or anything like that because they happen sometimes. So before we do anything, we're going to go ahead and do our trivia facts. We're going to let Mr. G do our trivia facts for today. We got, this is honoring Mad Women Month. I mean, it's March Madness.
Women's Month.
Yeah, March Madness. Yeah, March
Some people
Madness.
call them the same.
Yeah, they. Why that woman so mad?
That's cool.
Oh,
That's
no.
cool, though.
Oh, she's about to be outnumbered. All right, go ahead. Mr. G and his trivia facts.
Sight Beyond Sight podcast presents Random Trivia Facts with Mr. G.
And today's trivia fact, like we said, this is International Women's History Month, and I like to do little interesting history tidbits that go off the beaten path a little bit. So I'm going back a little bit with Black History Month in a way, and some omissions that I made that I forgot to make when I made my connection from All in the Family to Roberta Flack. And I also want to give a quick shout out to the Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast, who in January of this year recorded its first episode. But in March 8th of 2021 was the official airing of the first episode. So we are officially within season 4 of the Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast by the time you hear this particular episode. So shout out to the podcast for that. Had to get that real notion out there real quick.
Shut up.
So, making that connection I made the last time you heard my voice, and I was talking about Maude, and I accidentally left out the character of Maude's maid, Florida. Now, if that's familiar to you guys in sitcom land, Florida is Florida Evans, more widely known from Good Times. But in Maude, Florida was arguably the most popular character in Maude because she would give it right back to Maude. And while Maude respected her as a woman, Florida always came in through the back door and said, no, you don't have to do that. You're black, you're a woman, we're equal. You don't have to do that. And said, no, I did it because it's easier to come through. And just little quips like that made her even footing with her, even though she was the quote unquote maid. In the show, Florida's husband, Henry, got a promotion. And that's when she left to go pursue her husband's promotion. Now, in the show Maude, Florida's husband was Henry, and he was a firefighter. But when they spun off her show, it became Good Times. Good Times, as you know, Florida's husband is named James. They changed the name to James in Good Times to bring more clarity to the older son being James Evans Jr. or JJ. Now they fixed this a little bit a couple of years later when they found James' father, whose name was Henry. That's how they connected Henry back to Florida and Florida back to Maude. Now, in the history of Good Times, arguably and easily defined as the most popular character was Jimmy Walker's character, JJ. But according to the ratings, the show only did well, very well, mind you, in the years that Esther Roll, who played Florida Evans, was on Good Times, which was seasons 1, 2, and 3, and 4. At the end of season 4, she left because the man she married had tuberculosis, so they moved to Arizona to help them remedy that. And so for season 5, the ratings really dipped, even though JJ was the most popular character. When she came back at the end of season 5 for Thelma's wedding, the ratings shot back up. And it introduced a little girl that we all know now as Janet Jackson, who played Penny on Good Times.
Yeah.
Also connecting Good Times and Esther Roll in Florida and International Women's History Month goes back to Norman Lear. If you remember a couple of years ago, I talked about All in the Family and how they had a big illustrious budget, including the big orchestration for the song Those Were the Days that was going to be the theme song to All in the Family. But when it came to the night before, when it's going to debut, it looked at it as, we don't have the budget to do this. So Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton sat down at an old upright piano and they played and performed Those Were the Days in front of the live studio audience for the first time. They were not expecting it. And they knew that Gene Stapleton was a decent actress and a great singer, but she was a dingbat voice on the show. So when you remember, and that just cracked up the crowd because nobody expected it to happen. That's the first time in history since the Brady Bunch that actual characters from the show actually sung a theme song to a sitcom. A little bit later, we introduced Good Times again and Janet Dubois, who plays Winona Woods on Good Times. She is an accomplished singer, and not many people knew that. And if you listen closely to the outro of Good Times, you will hear her voice singing the Just Looking Out of the Window, watching the asphalt grow, thinking out and all looks every time. That's Janet Dubois' voice along with the man. And Norman Lear caught a hold of that. So when the Jeffersons spun off from All in the Family, he tapped her to sing the theme song moving on up to the Jeffersons, which ran for 10 years from 75 to 85 on CBS, becoming the first full Black woman in TV history to sing a mainstream, highly rated sitcom theme song for the entirety of its show's run, including the hymns, the gospel.
Yeah.
All of that is Janet Dubois. She did all of that. There was no voice doubles or anything. She did all of that. She was the first mainstream actress to do that for a TV thing. Norman Lear was a pioneer in doing stuff like that. So all of those little TV historical facts shout out to not only just women, but Black women who are major pivotal roles to 70s and 80s sitcom. And that is my roundabout way in random trivia facts. And there'll be some more women's history facts along this month as well and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
That's it for today.
Mr. G, the trivia facts, ladies and gentlemen.
This has been Random Trivia Facts with Mr. G. Well done, sir. Well done.
This is DJ K. Liddy, and you are now rocking with Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. Tap in, man.
All right, y'all. We got Mr. Andrew on the up on the line, and we're gonna talk to him a good bit. So, Duck, you can make sure that you feel free. Also, chiming in now, Drew. This is our other family member now, who is a farmer that happens to be blind, and he does a lot of farming on his 100 acres and his cows. And so he does a good bit of that. So I just wanted to make sure that I introduce him to you too. You didn't get him last week. So we're gonna have him on our show from time to time, and he's definitely gonna be a regular. And so, Drew, we were talking on last week that you just became the NFB chapter down there in Columbia, and you've been doing a good bit of stuff. You are also an assistant director to the transition of young people. Well, I think, what was the age? I think it goes up to 21. What age does it start?
13 to 21.
13 to 21, in charge of these young people. Let me ask you, how many young people, before we go any further, how many young people are in this program at a time?
It's not a set, excuse my voice. We had a barbecue fundraiser this past Saturday. I kind of lost my voice a little bit, but
okay.
It's not a set number of a cap number of how many we can have. But currently, I think the number of students that we've kind of registered to be blind students in South Carolina was around 400, but we probably work with close to or in contact with at least 150 to 180 of them.
Oh wow, man, that's good.
And so most of the times, because like I said last week, we work with them once we get they're connected with the commission, and then we get a referral from them. And sometimes they just haven't hit the age of 13 mark, and so they're just younger students that's blind, low vision.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's go back into the detail on how you lost your sight, so that way you'll be able to have some more time to do it. And so I'm gonna give you this opportunity now. You can go ahead and tell us exactly how the age again. How old were you?
Okay, I'm gonna start from the beginning, going back to GPS, Guillian-Barre Syndrome. So that was at the age of 16, and so at that time I was actually working at Piggly. Like I said, I did football, baseball, basketball. I did basketball 1 year. I wasn't good at basketball. I was just tall. I could jump and put a rebound up, but I couldn't dribble and all this stuff. So, I was good for just the rebounds.
Oh, yeah.
So, maybe February of 2007, I ended up getting like a regular cold, and my body just got really weak. I was like, dragging myself going to school, like just walking off slow and all that. When I went to track practice, my balance was like completely off trying to do agilities and stuff like that. And so I just kept getting weaker. You shut up.
Oh,
I said track.
Oh,
I said track. No, I said track.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
So, yeah, and so I ended up getting sick one more time, and my mom ended up taking me to the doctor's care, and they was like, "Oh, well, you just give you some antibiotics and stuff like this." And so that's when I kind of fell off the couch and peed on myself. I had to wait till my mom got back because she went to go pick up the antibiotics because she helped me up and all that. But
being pissy.
Shut up.
Okay.
But later on, my dad ended up taking me to the actual pediatrician, and so that's when they kind of diagnosed me with Guillian-Barre Syndrome, which, like I said, it was very rare. I ended up having to go into ICU.
Mm-hmm.
And so for most people, it like I said, it starts at your toes. It's like a tingling sensation. It starts at your toes. It works its way up your body. And for some that may have had it, if it gets like up to your chest area, you'll be put on a ventilator, and sometimes it causes permanent paralysis. For me, it was more so temporary. I learned how to. I went through physical therapy. I had to go through. Maybe after I came out of ICU, I can't even think of the name of the stuff they gave me. But it was like these humongous bottles of like clear. I cannot think of the word right now.
It was liquid in the IV.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't fluid. It was like
some type of medicine.
Yeah.
Citrate.
Okay. So,
but yeah, it was like these big old, like, big, real big glass bottles of like medicine I had to go through. They put like pushed in my body, and I went through that. So then I went back home. I had to go through physical therapy, learn how to walk, and go do all that again. And so after that, like I said, I'm one of those ones. I'm very resilient. I don't like for people to just like, tell me I can't do something. So I started back working at Bojangles. My senior year, left Bojangles, went to McDonald's. Then I was diagnosed with cancer. Because you remember I said I had one of my testicles was swollen, and we found out it was full of fluid. And they did an ultrasound and found out it was fluid all over my abdominal wall. And so they diagnosed me with cancer.
Them kids was just busting.
And so, you stupid. And so through the whole process, I ended up having to get my spleen removed because I kept getting sick. Like I kept getting these high fevers, and they did not know what was going on. And so they kept doing blood transfusions, and we found out that my spleen wasn't working properly. It was, your spleen is supposed to filter.
Right.
I wasn't filtering, and so they ended up taking my spleen out. Funny story. Come to find out, I have two spleens. I had two spleens.
Oh wow!
I have a miniature spleen. They say like a really tiny miniature spleen behind my original spleen. This was like in December 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Went through all my treatments of the cancer. I was able to graduate in May 2008 with my senior class, walk across the stage, all that. I was supposed to go to Johnson & Wales University. I had a $20,000 scholarship for Johnson & Wales University because I went through all 3 accounting courses in high school because I wanted to be accounting back then. Oh. But my doctors told me, because you have this weak immune system, we kind of want you to stay at home. So I went on to Millis Tech. And because I missed so much of my senior year, I kind of blew around Millis Tech. Like I was going to class, but I wasn't going to class. I was just out just living my life. And so I was just booing around. So that was 2009. And so 2009, well, actually 2008 all the way to January 2010, I was going to Tech. And so January 2010, I had a doctor's appointment. They told me that they did some blood work and I went home. Then they called me back. It's like, we need you to come back to the hospital. Go ahead and pack a bag. And they told me I had my white blood count was over, I think, 10 million. And so they said my cancer had came back. And they finally was able to diagnose me with leukemia because at first they didn't know what I really had, what type of cancer I had. They knew it was cancer, but they couldn't determine what it was.
Yeah.
So they finally was able to diagnose me with leukemia in 2010. So I started back treatment. Mother's Day 2010, I ended up having a stroke on Mother's Day. Yeah.
Wow.
Really?
Yes. Yep. On Mother's Day, I had a stroke on Mother's Day. Like got up out of bed. My dad was cooking breakfast in the kitchen, and I sat at the table, and he set the plate down. But actually, no, he handed me the plate, and I was in the process of setting it down, and I dropped the whole plate on the table, and my arm slumped down. And so I was like, I don't know what's going on. I went back and laid down in the bed. Then I got up and came back and sat on the couch, and I kind of just fell completely off the couch because I couldn't even hold myself up no more. So my dad took me to the emergency room, found out I had a stroke.
You didn't eat the breakfast?
No, it fell on the floor. And then I went on, my mom, dad cleaned it up, and I went on, my room and laid down. But yeah, they diagnosed me, well, not diagnosed, they told me I had a stroke. And so I went through all of that.
You just didn't want to eat. You didn't want to eat.
And so the stroke was from one of the actual chemos, methotrexate. They said it caused the stroke.
Oh, wow.
I was on very aggressive chemo, like very aggressive chemo.
Yeah. Did it do a lot of damage to your body? It's not damage, but you went through a lot of pain with that.
Mm-hmm. So I used to have what's the word?
A lot of side effects.
Yep, yeah. Side effects, but it was like when your body jerked,
seizures?
Spasms. I used to have like
muscle
body
spasms
like
and stuff. Yeah,
I would just start jerking.
Yeah,
like my body just jerking and stuff like that, and it got to the point where, I would be like on pain meds, and I'd be on pain meds, but of course I would already be on pain meds from the chemo, but I was on very real strong pain meds, so I used to have trouble sleeping and all that. So they put me on, this is the funny part about it. They put me on sleeping meds, Ambien, but they put me on Ambien CR, the strong one. Mm-hmm. And that's one you don't want to really be on because it causes like hallucinations and bad dreams. So this one time,
they're coming to get me. Okay, go ahead.
You being big old pigeon coop.
Yeah. I got up out the bed thinking I was in the bathroom, and I peed all over the floor.
There you go again.
Yeah, and then one other time, I came out the bathroom. I actually made it to the bathroom the next time, and I came out the bathroom. And so I got into the bed. I climbed on top of the ironing board.
Really?
Yeah. So, that's just how strong it is. You'll hear stories of people saying, I done got up in the middle of the night and watched laundry, and then realized, and the next day trying to figure out who did the laundry. It's
dang.
Yeah, it's very strong. But yeah, they took me off that because my aunt gave me a heads up. When I first got on, she was like, "Well, I'm going to tell you this now. When you take that, you need to already be laying in bed when you take that medicine because it's very strong." And so they kind of took me out there, and they I just had to deal with it.
Okay.
After that, just the sleeping problems. But I continued on with chemotherapy until 2011,
Yeah. When you run that bell.
2012.
Okay. You was able to ring the bell?
What bell?
For being in what they call it, remission.
Mm-mm.
Are you in remission now? You still are you done with your chemo?
I've been in remission. I've been in remission since 14.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So you didn't get to ring a bell? I guess that must be just up here. Is that just here, Ty?
Treatments.
Huh?
When you finish your treatments.
Yeah.
When you get through all the steps.
Yeah, everybody get to ring a bell. I guess they don't do it everywhere. Where were you?
I was at the children's, so I went through the children's hospital all the way up till I was like 24 years old. They didn't want to release me. They kept me there as in the children's hospital, and I hate to say this about it's Prisma Health Richland now, but when it was just Richland, the children's wing is probably the best wing to be in if you go to the hospital. Yeah. Everything else is kind of just. So I did treatment my chemo all the way till 11. It may have been 12. That's when I ended up having I hallucinate like let's see how to phrase it. So I just put it like this. I wasn't crazy, but it caused me to be a little crazy. I thought from the hallucinations, but it was because we didn't know I had CMV, encephalitis, and all that. And there was a brain infection going on, and I had a really high fever. But I thought my people was out to get me.
Yeah,
like trying to kill me.
Paranoid, schizophrenic, and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it was because of
what was going on.
What was going on. I thought my mom and my dad was trying to poison me. I would be sitting at the table with them, looking at them, and I would spit the food out back in my plate. One night I pulled every knife out and set them on the table. One night I went outside in just my underwear and just started screaming and yelling.
You was on that good.
Yes. I was going crazy. I was going crazy.
They had you on that good stuff, boy.
Yeah, I was going crazy.
We do that in family reunions.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
Family reunion.
I was going crazy. I would be looking outside the window thinking I'm like seeing like little cartoon things like running around.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where me and my dad came from a doctor's appointment one day, and he pulled into the gas station, and he went to the store, and I jumped in the driver's seat, and I drove off and left him and wrecked the car. I drove the car into the back fence of the Riverbank Zoo, because over here where I live is the botanical garden section.
Yeah.
But in the neighborhood over here, it's like a back fence that leads into the zoo. And so I just drove the car into that fence, and the police and all of them like came. And so I was like about to go to jail and everything. I was about to go to jail. But the only thing that kept me from going to jail was when they took me to Lexington Medical Center and they told them I had a fever of 103 point something, and they was like, yeah, he's like seriously hallucinating, and they, rushed me to Richland Children's Hospital, and then that's when they diagnosed me with CMV, and said, I had a really bad case of it. And so my blindness starts with this right here. They gave me I used to know all these medicines. Oh my God,
it's okay. You don't have to know the medicines. It's okay.
And you know what it is? It was dicyclopir, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was they gave me, it causes low eye pressures.
Yep.
It causes low eye pressure, and it helps fight the CMV. And so I was on that, and so that's when I started having eye problems.
Dicyclopir, yep.
And so I started having eye problems from that, and I ended up going to see, well, they actually put my chemo on pause to fight this CMV.
Yeah.
And so throughout that whole process, like I was in the hospital, I want to say my dad, one thing about my dad, you know, God rest his soul, he always said he wished he would have just recorded everything, because I think some crazy things happened that I was just doing like some crazy stuff. He thought one time my head was going to spin around. When I was just sitting on the bed waiting for a doctor to come in, how crazy I was acting because of the hallucination.
Yeah.
So, but we all, you know, came back and we just laughed about it. But we said, I was in the hospital for like maybe a month or two with the CMV. And so they had to send somebody outside my room, like kind of guarding the room and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when my parents went home, they would always make sure somebody would sit in the room with me and stuff like this. But I went through that whole process. Then they put me back on chemo to finish up my treatment. And so after that, with the chemo and all, like the chemo, the CMP, I went into remission 13. Yep, I want to say 13, because I set out a year before I started back working. So 13, I went into remission, going back and forth to the doctors. That's when my retinitis started kicking in. The CMV retinitis came from the CMV, the cytobacter, that medicine. So that's when it really started to bother me. My eyes would be bloodshot red, and people would be thinking I was just high as a kite, but my eyes would just be bloodshot red because of my pressures. And so I had to start getting steroid injections inside my eyes. So at first they started off putting the injections in the pink part, right there underneath when you pull your eyelid down at the bottom, the pink part right there.
Yeah.
They started putting injections there, but then they realized it wasn't as effective as it would be if you put it inside the eyeball. So they started poking me in my eyeballs with the steroid injections.
What?
Yeah, and so
I'm out.
after that, I've had
me too.
So,
Been there. I know what you're talking about, Andrew. I know what you're talking about.
Don't go anywhere. We got more inspiration and information for you right after this. Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment is now giving piano, drums, and vocal lessons to all those who are interested. Looking for a place for you or your group to record your project? Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment has the available studio time you're looking for. For more information on how to book your studio time or to sign up for lessons, call us 864-529-5360. Reach out to us on Facebook, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment, or by email, sightbeyondsight7@gmail.com.
This your girl, TyBoogie, and I want to welcome you back to Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast. Enjoy.
Let's pause for the calls right quick, and I'm gonna get ready to do a trivia.
Pauses and get their stomach back with them. That's
Yeah, and I'm on 104 of your ums. Okay.
Shut up.
it's a habit I have.
I know. I just want you to know I was literally counting this time.
It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all
man.
good.
I had to count this time. I'm only on 104. But
Whatever.
I just got to make sure I keep up. But we're going to do a couple of music trivia facts. Ty haven't got no country music just yet, but we're going to switch that up because I really want to think. I think that I know my country music too, but
I might get something there.
yeah. So we're gonna see about that. I'm gonna definitely make sure I duck on them because I won't be I don't want to be in this by myself.
Oh, don't put me on front street.
Come on, good shoot. All right, y'all. Here we go. TyBoogie. Let's see what we all can do here today.
All right. A dead matter would make you what?
Jump.
Yeah, we about to make you jump, baby.
What time are the girls leaving Snoop Dogg's living room?
6 in the morning.
Yeah.
I thought you said country music.
No. She don't have any this time. Yeah.
I'm gonna get those.
Okay.
Snoop ain't done no country. Beyonce did, but Snoop, no.
Okay. What does Missy want? Wait, let me take that back. What does it, Missy want?
I want a minute, man.
Yep.
Oh.
Why would Nelly say take off your clothes?
Because it's getting hot in here.
Hot in her.
Yep.
Her, yeah. You got to get it right? Her.
Okay.
St. Louis.
Outkast said they're the type of people that make you what?
Big crumb.
Okay.
I love myself some Rosa Parks, who sued them because she was not actually in the song. But she dropped it like
Hey, you acting like Tommy jumping in Steve's segments. Oh, no. Well, I'm so glad you did that, G, because they actually was doing that this morning. Sister Odell jumped in his. But it was so freaking funny this morning, man. But go ahead, Ty.
I'm sorry, Ty.
I'm gonna get you back. But what magazine did Biggie read?
Word
Up magazine.
No, okay, I want to roll with Dave. Okay, according to TLC, what is the guy that thinks he's fly?
Scrub.
You didn't get the whole question answered, man.
Okay, what does Jay-Z reintroduce himself?
Hove?
Yep.
Yeah.
And one more.
All right.
What couldn't Missy stand? I can't stand the what?
Rain.
Yep.
I can't stand the rain.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we did pretty good today.
Yeah.
We were smart today.
Yeah, we were.
Today.
A couple of weeks ago, we were like, what is this?
Yeah.
Y'all smart. I'm over here sucking my thumb. I don't know
That's what's up. But yeah, so we're going to get back into me counting. Back into Drew's testimony. He's gonna wrap it up. We're gonna give him a few more minutes and tell you. I think we left off of here when it just about the introducing the injections into the eyelids, and then they started doing it in your eyeballs.
Yes.
Jesus.
That hurts. Did they numb you first?
Yes. So
that don't usually always work.
At first, it started off with like the drop, where they put the antibiotic drop in. Then they put the numbing cream on a long Q-tip and they let it sit right there.
Mm. Oh man!
And then they let your eye numb up. But yeah, so after, I did that for a while. And I think I had to do that like maybe once every 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up in having to do cataract surgery as well. I had both my cataract surgery on both my eyes. Which one is this one? The right. My right eye is my weakest eye. So they ended up having to do a surgery because it started shrinking. And so they did a surgery where they had to put a silicone foil to fill up my eye to keep it from shrinking. Because they told me, if it kept on shrinking, then my eye just would be completely cold and I have to get a prosthetic eye.
So you be prophesying? So that makes you would have been prophesying? You said a prophet eye?
A prosthetic eye, yeah. If it would have kept shrinking, yeah.
I see.
So I went through new eye surgeries probably about from 13 to
how many of you had?
16.
How many you would say that you had?
The cataract surgery.
Let's see.
I would say about 5 or 6 eye surgeries.
Okay. I'm still at 9 throughout my whole life. But
yeah.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish right quick.
Mm-hmm. And so throughout that, that's when, once again, I still was wearing like bifocals, was still able to drive, doing all this stuff until I ended up being diagnosed with mononucleus meningitis. And so, I didn't get it from mono.
I'm about to say, who you been kissing, boy?
No,
you's a little nasty.
So,
that's what G be getting.
Yeah. That was wrong with G now.
Yeah. This ain't my segment. My segment's over.
And so,
I'm sorry for interrupting Ty. All right.
Yeah, and so
oh God,
that was another. I had by that time I was working with Boys and Girls Club. I started at Boys and Girls Club in 2014.
Where at? Here in Spartanburg?
In Columbia.
Oh, okay. I remember I used to DJ for them.
Yeah, in Columbia. So I started off as a program specialist, worked my way up as a program director. Then 2017, when I was diagnosed with that meningitis, throughout the whole process, I thought I was just being stressed out by the kids. I was like, oh, these kids are stressing me out. I kept having these bad headaches. And come to find out it was a brain infection from the meningitis. So they actually, once they diagnosed me and put me in ICU, they kind of told my mom them that, I probably wasn't going to make it, how bad the meningitis was. But they ended up like inducing me into like some kind of coma to like treat the brain infection.
Yeah.
And so throughout that process, after that, my cornea became getting really thick. So I started having cornea issues. And so after that, that's when my vision kind of just slowly started to decrease to where it's at now.
My son, good friend, lost him due to that meningitis. They wasn't able to catch it in time. So you definitely are a living testimony, man. And I thank you for even, taking the time and sharing it with us, because, a lot of people don't know what somebody done been through. Sometimes I was telling somebody the other day that we can be in the same situation, but yet we have different experiences. And I was talking to somebody that was going through the foster home, and that's the same experience, that's the same situation I was in, but I have different experience. So, and it's just like everything that you've been through, man, it's just like, somebody have given up, somebody felt like giving up. I just wanted to ask you, did you at any time feel like giving up?
You want to hear something crazy? So,
I'm talking to you.
No.
Oh.
So my grandma that recently passed back in 23, she always, like every time I went through something, she always said, was laughing, you just like challenges. You just like to be challenged with something.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's the type of person I am. I accept the challenge. I'll accept the challenge. If somebody challenged me for something, I'll accept it. And she always said that about me, like, you just like challenges. Every time I got sick when in the hospital, she's like, you just like challenges. You just a challenge person. You just like challenges. Yeah. So as far as wanting, I've never been that person to want to give.
That's good, man. You seem like the person that say to your situation, I don't live with you. You live with me, and we're gonna deal with this. And you didn't allow it to overcome you, man. And you've been very successful, and we all proud of you.
Thank you. And one thing about me, and a lot of people don't have this. It's sad. But for me, I have an amazing support system when it comes to friends, family, all of that. I have an amazing support system. Yeah. And I think that's what something that I always I always had. If it ever came down to I just got to a down point, which was very rare, I always had somebody that I could rely on. Or I always had somebody that's like, the stuff that you're going through, and you going through it, and you just beating it. You empowering me to keep on fighting. I always and I think words like that always kept me going, because I'm not one to say, oh, I want to make people proud of me or something like that. But it was always, I never wanted, when somebody always told me that, I never wanted to be like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just say I don't want to do this no more. when they're pushing through, I've encouraged them to keep on pushing. So I'm one of those people. But I've always had a strong support system.
Yeah. Well, that's the test of your true friends and true family. The ones that stick by you. The ones that bail out when the going gets tough. The tough get going is what they say.
Yeah. And I learned that at a young age. In high school, when I first went through cancer and all that stuff, I learned then how to realize who your true friends were, because I had all these people who I knew through elementary school all the way up to high school. And when I went through GBS, cancer and all that stuff, some reached out, checked me, came by the house, called me. Some I never heard from.
Yeah.
And so I learned then who my real friends were, and
not to let that get to you, because it's real easy to let that depression sink in and take you down a downward spiral. Just let it go and keep moving.
Well, you just got to know it's their loss, not yours. It's their loss.
Exactly. Right? Mm-hmm. And out of all the things, everything I've been through, I can honestly say, from people I've known since elementary school to now, that I still stay on a constant connection with, friendships. We do things together is probably 1 to 5 at the most.
Mm-hmm. That's enough.
That sounds about right. That's it. That's all you need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. I am definitely am grateful for your resilience and your courageous spirit, man, to continue to be uplifted and not allow it, like the crew said, get you down or get you to a stuck spot and you just in the corner, just, staring at the walls, man. Everything that you've been through, man, is a testimony to continue to help keep somebody else from moving on. Somebody right now upset, right, because they got a splinter, a hang toenail. They ready to not even go to work. So, and it's just the testimony.
You got to run your race.
You got to run that race, man. You really do, man. So I'm going to give everybody else to say something right quick, and then we'll wrap it up if they have anything to say at this time.
I think you just keep doing what you're doing and keep rolling, because it's worked for you. A lot of people, and when they, as the old sounds cliche, but when one door closes, another one opens.
Yes,
that's right.
All right.
If we say on this podcast all the time, we mean it. It's not just some little catchphrase, but can't, never, could, do nothing.
No.
So, and I learned a few years ago that can't die the day you were born. So just the very second you took your first breath, can't it no longer exists anymore. So keeping that positive mind flow, that positive outset going forward will carry you to leaps and bounds that you never could imagine.
Yes. And the doors and the steps to the way that you're going now, man, it's amazing to be after all that you've been through, man. You're assistant director of a program that is phenomenal. Ty, you?
I just felt like it's a living testimony for the ones out there who do give up. Mm-hmm. And the things you've been through from child all the way up, going through all that. If you could do all that, anybody could do that,
Yeah, man.
Yes, man.
Your testimony will help so many people. It's not even going through what you're going through, the small stuff. It will really help them and encourage them.
Even the pissy ones, they can get it depend.
Oh, my goodness.
That does depend, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but Julian, thank you, man.
I had to say that, didn't you?
Yeah, I just had to. I couldn't. I try to resist.
27 years old.
I was about to ask you.
Only 27.
Wow, man, to have been through some.
I got him twice.
Okay. I'm lying.
You're like you know, a lie don't care who tell it. You 31.
Okay.
That's what they say.
Yeah, he BSing.
I was
Yeah.
doing math. I'm like, wait a minute. He graduated in 07.
Yeah.
He's a Doogie Howser.
Yeah.
He Benjamin Button.
Right.
Oh man. But yet you're still a young man though to have been through so much, man. And we appreciate you even coming on the show, to even not even being afraid to talk about it and tell us.
Yeah.
Because everybody ain't finna, do all of that, man, and feel like it's a testimony or anything like that. And I appreciate it, man. So we all here got one or a billion.
All right.
So, it's just a thing that we do, man. So we're here to bring the people the inspiration and information. And that's what we come to do. So even at the end of the show, we tell them to do what, Ty?
Let it hurt, let it heal, and let it go.
Yeah. Doug, thank you so much, man, for being that spontaneous fella.
My pleasure. Call me anytime.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it so much. It's always a pleasure. And Drew, man, thank you, man. I'll be seeing you soon. No, you're not a BLV.
What?
Blind license vendor. You won't be at the meeting.
Oh, you'll see me on the 28th.
Oh, on the 28th?
Yeah, I'm doing some training.
Oh, okay. All right, cool beans.
Cool, man.
Hey, they hired you or this volunteer?
I don't know. I gotta ask. I gotta find about that and see if I'm getting paid or not. I need to make sure.
Yeah, make sure.
Because if I'm getting paid, then I put my best.
Put your best foot. Coming with your A game now.
I'll show up and I'll do stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man.
Those Benjamins always help out.
I won't be so energetic.
Yeah, right. Oh God. But yeah, I'm so glad that using our people, so that's local, and not getting all these people from way out yonder, and then they be in there don't even know nothing. We could teach them a thing or two. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much, man. Y'all have a great rest of your night. And I'm going here to see what this chicken smelling like. My sister down here from New York, and she cooked today, and so I'm gonna see if she really can cook.
Thank you for listening to the Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment Podcast, a podcast of inspiration and information, a production of Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. If you have a question that you would like to submit to the podcast to be answered by Pastor Happy Feet and the crew, drop us a voicemail at 864-256-0922. Also check out more episodes and content on our Facebook page, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment, on X at Podcast Sight 4, and reach out to us via email, sightbeyondsight7@gmail.com. God bless, and always remember,
Let it hurt, let it heal, and let it go. Peace.
Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment is your home for quality, professional DJ and photography services, school functions, church events, weddings, you name it. Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment is here to help make your event special just for you. We also offer audio recording time in our studio for you and your group, as well as piano and drum lessons for people of all ages. For more information, reach out to us on our Facebook page, Sight Beyond Sight Entertainment. Call us at 864-529-5360, or reach out to us via email at sightbeyondsight7@gmail.com.